Hello, Nicholas Purschke. How are you, young man?
Hey Mike, how you doing? I'm doing good.
I'm fantastic. You got that great smile on your face as you always do.
Yes, yeah. Thank you.
Well, I told people a little bit about the backstory of how you and I met and how the Ironman world met you, of you coming to Kona as a Make a Wish kid, and how fantastic was that? I'm going to hit right off with it. You had ALD, and you're going to have to help me on the pronunciation, but I've got adrenoleukodystrophy.
That's close. So it's adrenoleukodystrophy. That was pretty good.
Dys-
That was pretty good.
Dystrophy. Okay, there you go. Well, you you're an amazing young man. You were in Kona in 2017 when you're 12 years old, and a lot of people have heard the story. I've never handed my microphone to anybody to call someone in as an Ironman, a spectator, and for some reason, I saw you standing over there with your mom and decided to hand you that microphone, and you called a finisher in Kona, coming through the line saying those four magic words, and uh, was that a good moment for you?
That was an amazing moment. Just to be able to kind of give that almost gift to another person. Like once you cross that finish line and hear that, it's just that's like the best thing ever to have that come from me to go to another person. That was awesome, and hopefully one day when I cross the finish line, I'll be able to hear that same those same words. So that
Well,
was just a great moment.
we'll talk about that in a little bit, but being 14 years old, and congratulations, you just made Eagle Scout. That is huge.
Thank you. Yeah.
What was the hardest part about the journey to Eagle Scout? What was one of those things like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this?
Well, it was all about the planning involved. All the logistics and getting all the volunteers together and organizing and just planning out certain details of the whole project. So I had to do a butterfly garden, and to acquire all the materials was pretty hard to plan everything so the timing would be right. Um, and it was just that was probably the hardest part, just kind of making the project all come together, so it would just work out.
And a good sense of accomplishment. You had help, but obviously you had the lead. You had to be the engine on that train. When you
Yes.
finished it and they gave you that Eagle Scout pin, that tag, what was that like?
That was it was a dream to me almost. Like I had been dreaming about that, since I was a little kid, and I wanted to get there one day. It was just kind of this big mountain I had to climb just to get up to the peak, and it was just that was the peak right there. Um, and I think that it'll have the effects Eagle Scout will have on me will be very long lasting. It'll help me a lot through life, and so it was just a great accomplishment.
Well, you never know when they introduce you as the next president of the United States. You can go back to the Eagle Scout, foundation.
Yeah, I don't know about that though. I don't know.
Well, let's talk a little bit about what you're doing now. You're 14 years old. You're going into high school, and you told me earlier that you don't want to worry about an Ironman until you're like 28, 30 years old because you've got a lot to do, which is fully understandable. Uh, but you're into what, cross country now?
Yes, so I do cross country and track. I'm a big runner. I love running, and I try to do a triathlon a year, just one a year in the summer. And I'm training for one right now next Sunday. Um, really excited about that. I've been biking a lot, and I'm kind of recovering from an injury, so I've been doing a lot of cross training, and just kind of really pumped to get back running again, and hopefully get ready for the next cross country season. So, yeah.
Well, hey everybody. I'm talking to a 14-year-old here, and it's like he's an accomplished 30, 35-year-old triathlete. I'm injured. I've got to do this, my recovery, and he's only 14 years old. You're amazing. So, with your friends, let's talk about some of the friends you have. They understand you went through some medical trials and tribulations and things like that, but they don't treat you any differently, do they?
No, not at all. There was definitely a period of maybe 6 months where I was held back a bit. I couldn't run for a while, but after that, I was just as good. I was even better than I was before this whole thing happened. So I had to stay in the hospital for about 30 days, but that didn't really hold me back. I got out of my bed every day and worked. Just did push-ups, just kind of did simple exercises, and that helped me so much. And now I'm stronger than ever, and I'm no different than all my other friends.
So tell us about what are some of your, if you look forward in your life of where you want to be, what are some of the big goals you have right now for the future?
Right now, I well, my huge goal, well, ultimate goal would be getting to Kona, of course, and crossing that finish line. But that's a few years off, so I got a little time thinking about that. And thinking about running a triathlon in college, maybe. I could probably run. I could probably do cross country in college, but that just seems like a lot of dedication and work. In triathlon, it's a club, so it's a lot less dedication, and you don't have to. It's not an actual team. You can just join. So I think that would be a lot more enjoyable. And I'm looking forward to the next few years of cross country, hoping to get to state and win a state ring. I want to get out of the Midwest. Out of Missouri, somewhere west more. I don't know.
What are
The
some of
weather's
your
not.
choices? What are you looking at? What are you looking at college wise? Where?
Probably like Colorado, maybe even Boulder. That's a really cool place.
Yeah.
Uh, and then Arizona is cool too. Cool too.
Yeah, it is. That's where
Just
my
different.
daughter graduated from the University of Arizona. Great place.
Okay, yeah, just a different landscape and just really cool. Kind of change it up a little. Just kind of get out of Missouri. Yeah, explore.
I love it. A Midwest boy wants to get out of Missouri. Well, yeah, that's happened before. But you'll
Yeah.
always have that. You always have that home base you can go back to. You know that, don't you?
Yes. Yes.
Good,
Definitely.
good for
Yeah.
you. Well, I tell you what, Nicholas. One more question. When you were in Kona, what professional athlete that you met impressed you the most? Which one were you like enamored by because you got to meet a lot of them?
That's a hard question. I'm a huge fan of Tim O'Donnell, just because he's an American athlete, and we got to know each other pretty well. And he's just such a great guy. He helps out with Ironman Foundation, and I think he just makes a great impact on the sport. And he is also an amazing athlete. He as I think he got third last year, which
Second.
was second.
Was
Okay,
it
yeah,
second
second.
or
Yeah, and
third?
he's
Yeah.
yeah, and just I really look up to him because he's just such an amazing person, always and such an amazing athlete too. Um, and I've just got to know him very well. And yeah, I just really look up to him.
That's a great idol to have. He is an amazing individual, and you know how to pick him. But you also met Rennie. You met his wife too.
Yes, yes, I'm a big fan of Rennie too, um, and that I really like their family. Yeah, they're really, really great. Yeah,
Well, I hope you realize how lucky you are to be able to meet professionals in this sport, any
yes,
professional in any sport. But our sport, there's so much more reachable. You can sit and talk with them, and it's fantastic. And I think you're very fortunate there, Nicholas, to be able to do that in Kona. And we sure did love having you there. And I can't wait for you to come back one day.
yes, me too. Yeah, can't wait.
Well, you take care of yourself, young man, and have a great cross country season, great high school, and I can't wait to hear where you're going to go to college.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay, take care of yourself. Aloha.
You too. Aloha.